everyone. Grand Rising. Thanks for tuning Blaque in once again to Authentic Black Goddess TV. I'm your host, QueenAShakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at QueenAShakur and on Twitter at DGoddess27. You can also follow the Queen Shakur fan page on Instagram. And be sure to text Royals to 1-844-589-6096 in order to receive occasional text offers, notifications, and alerts. All right? Hello, Monica, beloved. Hello, Larry. Excuse me, Brianna, Susan, Jason, Miho. All right, Melanated Brown, I see you. Ayon is in the house. Tracy, Trisha. Okay, Brianna. Whitney, Danielle, Jeff ATL is black. JB1 is black. Byron is black. Pride at Bentley, Workout 218, Neon Black. Brother Sly is in the house. Phil Mabel, Naomi. All right, I see you all. Shout out my Aunt Egypt. Meta Simplicos, Cherokee Descendant Dale. Shout out to you. Shawana, Rain Love. Let's get into it, people. All right, let's get into it. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Hello, Michael M. Yanita, Ya, Sierra, Miss Paris, Keisha, and anyone that I missed. Shout out to everyone in the chat and everyone tuned into the Queen. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Listen to this, people. This is so sad and clearly nefarious. Now, a mom who executed her kids with a shotgun called 911 and then waited on the porch while covered in blood. Well, she's now been sentenced to prison. So a judge in Pennsylvania on Tuesday sentenced a woman to spend the rest of her natural life behind bars after she admitted to executing her own children in a cold-blooded shooting. And then she shot them in the head inside their family home earlier this year. Shot the children in the head. Now, Court of Common Pleas Judge Richard Mancini handed down the mandatory minimum of 2 life sentences after Krishna Bright pleaded guilty to the February 2021 murders of 16-year-old Jeffrey J.J. Bright and 22-year-old Jasmine Kennedy. Friends will gather tonight to remember Jasmine Kennedy and Jeffrey Bright. The 2 siblings were shot and killed inside of their Ambridge home. Oh my goodness, this is really so sad. Who does this? Now, Bright reportedly agreed to plead guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder rather than try her case in court, where prosecutors had already said they planned to seek the death penalty. According to the report, several members of Bright's family attended Tuesday's proceeding and read emotional victim impact statements aloud. Now, Caitlin Kennedy, Bright's daughter-in-law, reportedly said the murders left the family traumatized and heartbroken. Krishna Ann Bright, courtesy of Beaver County, Pennsylvania District Attorney, said, "They held you with such revere in their hearts and they trusted you." She said of JJ and Jasmine, who were transgender and non-binary siblings. Oh, is that why she killed them? That's why she killed them? Now, I want y'all to pay attention. I'm sorry, where is LGBTQ on this? I'm sorry, where is LGBTQ? Where are they on this story? This woman killed her children because they were LGBTQ, transgender, non-binary siblings. So that's why she murdered them. A whole hate crime on her own kids for their sexual orientation. How sick and demented. Now, I want to know where they are, because I do recall when Breonna Taylor was murdered and George Floyd was murdered, there was lots of them out there with flags and waving and talking about trans lives matter. Well, this child was transgender. Where are they? You see what I'm talking about? Co-opting the Black movement. Every time a Black person is killed and we go out there, or you all go out there, some of you, marching for justice, then here they come with flags. But where are they when actually their own people are killed? They're not saying anything. You know why? Because they're on code. They're on code. So they're not going to call this out. Remember, when Reese Willoughby beat the mess out of his transgender girlfriend, and then she left him, broke up with him, and then he killed himself. And they lied and said that Black men, heterosexual Black men, caused him to commit suicide. Thank God the transgender girlfriend came out and told the truth and said, no, he killed himself because he was distraught because I broke up with him because he was beating me. So I'm sorry, they have so much to say when other things happen, especially amongst the Black people. Where are they when this white woman, this Karen, murdered her children by shooting them in the head because they were transgender and non-binary? Are you serious? And I haven't heard a peep from any of them. And this happened in February, just so we're clear. Yes, selective outrage. Kevin Bright, Jeffrey's father, reportedly took the stand and said that about a month before she killed the kids, Bright apologized to him out of nowhere, saying God told her to apologize. So clearly premeditated. She'd already planned to kill these children. Ugh. She said, "You tried to destroy me." This is what he said. Now, while acknowledging that Bright was responsible for killing her children, several family members said they still loved her and knew she had bipolar disorder. Here we go with the mental illness card, people. Now she has bipolar disorder. Oh, okay. So that's an excuse to murder your children. And she was undergoing mental health treatment at the time of the murders. I'm sure she was. She planned this all out. So she likely started going to get mental help, to pretend that she was mentally incompetent. So after she murdered him, she could use the mental illness card, which is often what they do, these Karens and Kens. But let me continue. She says, "I just wanted to get up here and look you in the eyes and tell you I forgive you." This is what her niece, Chloe Gabriel, said, holding back tears. After allowing the family to speak, Judge Mancini reportedly expressed his sympathies, describing the circumstances of the case as horrendous, saying, "One thing I can say that I learned over the years is human life is way too valuable to be taken away under circumstances like these." Now, as previously reported by Law and Crime, Bright was arrested in February after police said she shot and killed her children. She then left the unloaded gun on her dining room table, called 911 to confess, and waited on the front porch for officers to arrive at the home on Maplewood Avenue in Ambridge. Now, upon arrival, officers asked Bright if she was bleeding. She allegedly said she wasn't, explaining to the police that the blood on her arms and hands and clothing was from her children that she just murdered. According to a criminal complaint, Bright waived her Miranda rights in writing and agreed to speak with the police in an interview room. Now, the documents say Bright admitted to shooting Kennedy while the young woman was lying in bed upstairs. She then said she went downstairs, pointed her gun at JJ, and pulled the trigger. However, the gun didn't fire. JJ then pleaded with his mother. Oh my God, this is so sad. He pleaded with his mother, "Please don't shoot. I'm going to call the police." First of all, can you imagine a child looking their own mother who brought them into this world in the face as she's holding a gun at them and he knows that she's already killed a sister and now he's next? Can you imagine what was probably going through this poor child's mind? But the complaint says Bright told the police she fixed the gun soon thereafter and proceeded to shoot him in the face. Dirty, low-down dog. This is so sad. Like, who does this to their own children? This has to be a demon. You clearly cannot be a human if you do so. Shot this poor child. He's begging for his life. And she shot him in the face. And she had the nerve to stand there and fix the gun because it was jammed. Whoo, honey. But they talk about black on black crime, though. They don't talk about these stories. Anyway, she shot him in the face. And then she shot him again in the head because she said she didn't want him to suffer. She said she didn't want him to suffer. Don't you think he was already suffering knowing that his own mother was about to murder him? Crime scene investigators found both victims with apparent gunshot wounds to their face and head. So she shot both of them in the face and head. In the aftermath of the shooting, prosecutors decided to seek the death penalty due to the aggravating factors presented by Bright's alleged crime. Now, under state law, a person who commits murder, either before or at the time of another murder, is subject to capital punishment. Per the Post-Gazette, after her arrest, Bright told investigators that she purchased the gun weeks before the shooting because she believed her kids were going to be taken away from her. However, police and Beaver County District Attorney David J. Lozier said they were unable to find any reason why Bright believed her children would be taken. She didn't think those children were going to be taken away from her. She didn't want those children. She killed them because they were transgender. That's what she did. That's exactly why she did it. Low down, dirty dog. And here's a picture of the demon seed spawned straight from the pits of hell. Christopher says, Queen at work. Pay close attention, everyone. Thank you, beloved. Let me tell you something. Queen Candy J says, this is so heinous. How old were the children? 16. 16 and 22. The young woman, Jasmine, was 22 years old. And the young man, the teenager, he was 16 years old. So sad indeed. But anyway, let's move on to the next nefarious story because this is just as nefarious. Now listen to this. Dangerous cold-blooded killer sentenced to rot in prison for hanging a black man and burning his body in a ditch. And like I said, I reported this story to you all the first time about a year ago. And now this devil's been convicted. But there was numerous of them who did this. I believe there was 5 of them altogether. So a judge in Iowa on Tuesday sentenced Stephen Vogel to spend the rest of his life behind bars for the horrifying murder of a black man whom he hanged and displayed before burning the victim's body in a ditch. So he hanged him and put him on display. Just like they used to do in the old days of Jim Crow and slavery when they lynched the ancestors. District 8A Judge Sean Showers handed down a sentence of life without the possibility of parole to Stephen Vogel for the 2020 murder of 44-year-old Michael Williams. A Keokuk County jury last month took less than 4 hours to unanimously convict the 32-year-old Vogel on the 1 count each for first-degree murder and abuse of a corpse. Now, law enforcement has identified the person found dead in September the 16th in rural Jasper County as 44-year-old Michael Williams of Grinnell. Now, that was the initial report that came out with the case when the police found out who the body was, because when they first found the body, they didn't have any clue who it was. And then they soon found out. Now, according to a report, Judge Showers rebuked Vogel throughout Tuesday's sentencing hearing, repeatedly referring to him as a cold-blooded killer and say that he treated Williams like an animal. Well, that's what a lot of them do. Treat black people like animals and think of us as such. The judge even said Vogel and those like him are exactly why life without parole is an appropriate punishment under Iowa law. The judge said, Mr. Vogel, you're why Iowa has life without the possibility of parole. You don't deserve to be on the streets. You don't deserve to see a parole board. You are a dangerous, cold-blooded killer. You'll have the rest of your life to think about what you did, the loss and the pain that you caused, and the precious life that you ended. You're a cold-blooded murderer with a hate in your hearts. These sentences are made for people like you who commit these horrific offenses and take others' lives without any regard for consequences. That's what the judge told him. You know, I have to give a shout out to this judge because we need more judges like this, as opposed to the ones like Tammy the Mammy Kemp, who gave Amber Geiger, who's also a cold-blooded killer, but was protected by her badge and uniform, no less. But she gave her a hug and a Bible. You know, that judge didn't even give Botham Jean's family a hug, but she gave his killer one. Pay attention. Firefighters and deputies with the Jasper County Sheriff's Office on September the 16th, 2020, responded to a call about a ditch fire on North 67th Avenue. First responders arrived on scene and quickly identified that a human body was burning. 2 days later, law enforcement authorities arrested Vogel, who reportedly had planned to kill Williams because he had allegedly been talking to his girlfriend. He killed the man for simply talking to his girlfriend. Now, per the Iowa Department of Public Safety, investigators determined that Williams was killed on September the 12th, 6 days prior to his body being set ablaze. Prosecutors during trial reportedly said that Vogel lured Williams to his home and then beat him over the head with a blunt object several times. This is what they do. This is what they do. The devils, they lure Black people to their places, to their homes, to the woods, some secluded area, like they did Jelani Day. Anyway, he then hanged Williams by the neck until he was dead. A medical examiner reported this and testified. Strangulation was ruled the official cause of death. A pair of witnesses reportedly testified in court that Vogel kept Williams's remains in the basement of his home, where he reportedly showed off the body to friends for nearly a week. You see, this is exactly why I tell you, those people who lived centuries ago during slavery, who enslaved our ancestors, all the heinous things they did, cutting off their body parts, lynching them, taking home parts of their body as souvenirs, they still exist. The same people who took postcards of dead, mutilated Black bodies hanging from trees, burned to crisp, and they took pictures and put it on postcards to send out to friends and family, and they gathered to have picnics, to eat and drink and be merry as they watched some innocent Black person being hung, lynched. Those same people still exist to this very day. But see, the thing is, when they commit those heinous crimes, and these days, very often it is covered up by the police, who lie and say, this wasn't a hate crime. The person, they hanged themselves by their neck from a tree. That's what they say. So a pair of witnesses, he was showing this body off for a week and bragged about the murder before dumping Williams's body in a ditch and setting his body on fire. Now, Vogel's mother, Julia Cox, and her boyfriend, Roy Lee Garner, allegedly helped Vogel transport and burn the body. Oh, so it was a family affair. You know what this reeks of? This reeks of the same story about the 2 young Black men in Oklahoma just about 3 or 4 years ago. You all remember. 2018, I think it was. 2 Black men via Craigslist found someone who said they were selling a gun, and they went to go to meet the person to purchase the gun. And the person lured them. It was a white man and his 16-year-old accomplice. Lured them into their vehicle, said, oh, just leave your car here and ride with us, and took them off into some secluded area and shot and killed them. Matter of fact, they shot them in the car, as I recall. Yeah, they shot them while they sat in the backseat of the car, and then took their bodies to a secluded area and dismembered them and threw them in a pond. Now, when the truth came out and the story was exposed, come to find out, one of those young men, their parents had actually helped dispose of the bodies. Talk about being on code. So anyway, Vogel's mother, Julia Cox, and her boyfriend, Roy Lee Garner, allegedly helped Vogel transport and burn the body. Both were charged with 1 count each of abuse of a corpse, destruction of evidence, and accessory after the fact. Now, Roy Lee Garner, Julia Cox, Cody Johnson were also charged with abuse of a corpse and accessory after the fact. Cody Johnson, authorities have said they found no evidence that the crime was racially motivated. What? But Williams's family has maintained otherwise, calling the murder a modern-day lynching. What are they talking about? The authorities found it was not racially motivated. They love to say that because they don't ever want to charge these people with hate crimes. They don't ever want it to look as though they did this because the person was Black. Of course, that's why they did it. It absolutely was a modern-day lynching. They say it's putting that rope around his neck and holding it for over 6 minutes, causing his death. That's the definition of a hanging, a lynching, Williams' aunt Paula Terrell said. A white man lynched a black man over a white woman. It's a tale as old as time. Judge Showers on Tuesday said Vogel treated Williams as though the man that he was burning was not human. He said, you treated Michael Williams like he was not human. You clubbed him, strangled him to death, kept him in your basement like an animal that you would kill. You wrapped up his body, set it on fire, and you dehumanized Michael Williams. And Mr. Williams did not deserve that. Well, he sure did. He certainly did not. That is all so sad. That is also, this is what we live in, people. This is the world we live in. And so, you know, really, this is why I get so angry about things like them not wanting critical race theory to be discussed and taught. Because racism is absolutely embedded in the fiber of this country. Most of the others in this country are absolutely racist. Absolutely racist. Most of them. And all of them, every last one of them, benefits from a system of wannabe white supremacy. And that's just the facts. That is just the facts. Now I'm going to show you a picture of the devils who all participated in this egregious act of depravity. Just also sinister, like who does this besides demons? Everyone, please get those likes up. Informative Thinker says, when will Black humans understand that the demonic demon devils are satanic from birth? Stop believing in the lie of a God. If there was a God, these heathens would not exist. Real effing talk. QueenAShakur says, I keep saying they do not want you with their white women, melanated men, only when there's an agenda. Stop mixing tribes. Too many beautiful melanated queens out there, just like your beautiful mom. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to share my screen. Everyone, please get the likes up. Please like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you in advance. That's them. These are the ones who aided and abetted him. Isn't that something? I mean, the fact that you would kill someone, but yet you have the nerve to show their body off. Like you're just so proud of what you've done. Clearly proud of it. And showing off the body, like there's no way you can even feign remorse after doing such a thing. And here's the killer right here. Let's not leave him out. Brother Sly says we're in the last days and people are still stupefied. Unfortunately, yes, they are. Absolutely. That's him right there. Stephen Vogel. Anyway, that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Just also heinous, like really. I mean, to think that there's people out here still doing these type of things. But hey, here's a picture of the gentleman who was murdered, Michael Williams, for talking to his girlfriend. Can you imagine if Black people did the same? That's the man they murdered. Let me tell you all something. You're welcome, Terry, beloved. Larry says they are both of nature. That is why the sun or they are not of nature. I think is what you meant. That's why the sun burns their skin. Everything in nature thrive under the sun except them. They weren't created from the universe. They were created on this planet. Let me tell you all something. The thing is this. You know, these hate crimes that they perpetuate on Black people, this continues to happen, and it will continue to happen because so many Black people, Danielle says, Queen, you're wearing my favorite colors. Thank you, beloved. These things continue to happen because Black people, many Black people, just are so thirsty. And it just makes me sick, honestly, if I'm being honest. It just makes me sick because some Black people are just so thirsty to be accepted by the others. Why would you want to be accepted by people who don't want to be bothered with you? You know, I have the same type of ideology as Muhammad Ali. You see, Muhammad Ali said, if there's 10,000 snakes, and I know that 1,000 of those snakes, and this was his response, right? Let me see if I can find that, because I think it better be served, best be served with him saying it himself. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up. Everyone, please like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Thank you in advance. And do you know why Muhammad Ali said that? Hold on, I'm going to find this video in a second. Here it is right here. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all. Okay. I'm going to mute my mic for a second.
Neighborhoods, we clean their own neighborhoods. And another thing, when you say integration, it comes on the intermarriage too, right? All
Right,
been together.
right, sure.
And I'm sure no intelligent white person watching this show, or no intelligent white man in his or her right white mind, want Black boys and Black girls marrying their white sons and daughters, and in return introducing their grandchildren as half brown, kinky haired Black people. And I'm sure
I wouldn't object to that.
Well, you wouldn't, but a lot of them would.
But I'm sure a lot of people.
And
No, this is the point.
what I'm trying to say is this. What I'm trying to say is this. You don't have it. You say you don't, but you don't have it. You really ain't gonna have it. You on the show, and you got to say that. But
That's not true.
why would you want to do that?
Because I don't think I'm any different from you. You see.
Yeah, we much different.
I mean, I think society's made us different.
You know, we're different. We all together.
Society's made us different.
No, not society. God made us different.
No, we're just human beings. He made all of us.
We all listen. Bluebirds fly with bluebirds. Red birds want to be with red birds. Listen. Tell me when I'm wrong. Pigeons want to be with pigeons. Tell me when I'm wrong. We should have. They don't have intelligence, but yet they stay together. We should have more intelligence than them, right? Buzzards are with buzzards. Yeah. Buzzards are with buzzards. Bluebirds are with bluebirds. They all are birds, but they got different cultures. The eagles like to hang out in the mountains. The buzzard like to fly around the desert. Well, the bluebird like to fly around the trees and the grass. There'd be
problems a buzzard mating with a sparrow, wouldn't there?
What?
There'd be certain.
Right. And we have the problems too. No, I don't see no Black and white couples in England or America walking around proud, holding their children.
That's because society
and going out.
That's society's fault. I mean, we've got to educate people around.
Well, life is too short for me to be raised catching hell for something like that. I'd rather go and be my own. I have a beautiful daughter, beautiful wife. They look like me. We're all happy, and I don't have no trouble. And I ain't got no trouble. I ain't that much in love with no woman to go through all that hell. Ain't no one woman that good. You understand?
I understand. Yeah, I do understand. I understand. I think it's sad that
it ain't sad because I want my child to look like me. Every intelligent person wants his child to look like him. I'm sad because I want to blot out my race and lose my beautiful identity. Chinese love Chinese. They love the little slanted out, pretty brown skinned babies. Pakistanis love their culture. Jewish people love their culture. A lot of Catholics don't want to marry number Catholics. They want the religion to stay the same. Who want to spot up yourself and kill your race? You a hater of your people if you don't want to stay who you are. You shame what God made you. God didn't make no mistake when he made us all like we were.
I think that's a philosophy of despair.
Despair.
I really do.
It ain't no despair.
Yeah?
Number one, can't no woman. Let me tell you something. I want to tell you. Listen, no woman on this whole earth, not even a black woman in Muslim countries, can please me and cook for me and socialize and talk to me like my American black woman. No woman, at last, is a white woman, can really identify with me and my feelings and the way I act and the way I talk. And you can't take no Chinese man and give him no Puerto Rican woman and holler about we're in love and you emotionally in love and physically, but really they're not happy because she's gonna hear some Puerto Rican music, he's gonna hear some Chinese music, and they're gonna be clashing all the time. It's just nature. You can do what you want, but it's nature to want to be with your own. I want to be with my own. I love my people. That's all. I don't hate nobody.
Now, that wasn't exactly the clip I was looking for, but that was still good enough. All right. Because one thing about it is Ali always spoke the truth about race relations. And I absolutely agree with everything he said. Absolutely agree with every single word that he said. Now, you can see the man was uncomfortable. He clearly didn't like it. Right? Hold on. He clearly didn't like it. Hold on, beloveds. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Let me look in one more place to see if I can find it. Okay, so listen. Thank you, Christopher. So listen, I'm going to show you all another clip. I don't know if this is the correct clip or not. All right, but I'm going to play it anyway because there's several clips on here. I want to say this is it. Hold on. I don't think this is it. Hold on, beloveds. I know I'm taking up your time, but just hold on for a second. Let me see if this is it. Everyone, please get those likes up. Likes up, like and share. All right, I'm going to look in one more place. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully this is it. It may not be. I'm not sure.
Other people are just so happy to be home,
Yeah. Whereas you can take it or leave it.
Well, I mean, so many problems in the world and with the people and the black people and the white people in the whole world, and people dying and getting shot. And me being one of the few of my kind, being blessed to come on the shows or to get the privilege to make a little money, I just feel so guilty laughing and joking like everything is so rosy while people are hungry and can't find work and out of work and getting put out of apartments, and me up here showing my teeth and kiki.
Dick Cavett was the whitest of white guys in America, but he gave blacks that had been considered outside of the mainstream, like
a certain amount of guilt about being so successful and so.
Not that, just the freedom and the plight of the people and the scuffle,
Yeah.
And like this is on my mind, it's just part of my life, more so than boxing in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just dedicated to it, and I just can't go along with society, with the movie stars or Hollywood, and I know what's happening.
Ali would have some of the most that significant because of who Cavett was and who Ali was.
First of all, if I had known Bobblehead was on there, I would have looked for another video. Sharp tongue sharpened is a joke. Absolutely he is. Anyway, so as you can see, Ali was always spitting facts, right? Speaking truth to power. But what I wanted you all to hear him talk about was when he was asked, or he was told, that all white people aren't racist, which is true. All of them aren't racist. But what did he say? He said if 10,000 snakes is coming towards him and there's 1,000 snakes that aren't venomous, or they're not going to bite him, is he supposed to just sit there and hope and pray that the 1,000 who aren't going to bite him build a shield against the other ones to protect him? Right? Or should he just close the door on all of them? So that's what you have to ask yourselves. You see, these black people who get lured to secluded places by racist people and they turn up dead, that's what they can distinguish between the racist ones and the ones who are not racist. Because even sugar looks like salt. Okay? So you have to be careful. That's all I'm saying. Renee says, I remember the snake analogy very, very well. I will never forget it. Absolutely, beloved. All right? So anyway, Bobblehead needs to sit down somewhere. Is he still trying to be relevant? Please. Okay? With that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Mr. Mystical Black Realm says, come on now. So I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Listen, I'm going live on the original QueenAShakur show at 11 o'clock. So I hope to see you all in the chats at the end of the day. And if I don't, well, my Egypt says, Queen Ahmadiyya, Muhammad Ali's favorite, favorite boxers, Muhammad Ali's favorite boxers all times. He hated for years, speaking truth. Yes, he was hated. That's absolutely true. Because he spoke truth to power. And that's one thing the devils could not stand. Right? So with that all being said, I hope to see you all in the next chat. Please like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Please make sure you subscribe because I go live on all of these channels every day. And if you don't want to miss your daily vitamins, you want to wake up calls, then make sure you subscribe to all of them, right? And with that all being said, I hope I see you all in the next chats.